Hello, my name is Trina Long, and I am a donor mom. And I am here at Legacy Donor Services in honor of Blue and Green Day for Donate Life. Thus, the reason I am dressed the way I am is to honor those that gave.
Hi, this is Martin DeGrassi and Anna DeGrassi. We are Diego's parents who passed away and became a donor back in 2019.
Hi, my name is George, and this is my mother, Ruby, and we are donor family members. My sister, Tuli, who was 19 at the time of her accident, passed away in June of 2008.
Hi, my name is Ligi Marañón Garcia. I am the mother of Ricardo Ricky Hurwitz, and he was an organ, tissue, and eye donor in July of 2018.
My name is Angela Evans Bonanno, and my donation journey started on October 7th, 2010 at 4:30 in the morning.
Hi, I'm Robert Hurwitz, and I am a college student at Indiana University. I have two sisters, one older and one younger, and my brother, he passed away at 18 years old, but he was always the most full of life person, and I always like to say that in his 18 years of life, he got to live more than some people who live to 90.
Hi, I'm Lily Garcia, and I love hanging out with my family and hanging out with Robert and just and just having fun outside. And
Yeah.
My name is Sharon Cohen Schwabenbauer. My son Joshua David was 26 years old when he was in a tragic accident.
I asked some of his friends what they had to say about Logan, and this is what they shared with me. He would give the shirt off his back to anyone. At work, he would take time to help people that didn't understand something. He held the door open for others. He would do whatever he could to make someone smile or laugh. Logan was always ready to give without wanting anything in return. Going out to eat with him, and sometimes he would pay for other people's meals without them knowing. Logan had a strong work ethic. He liked his job, and he loved interacting with people. You may have heard the phrase, "never met a stranger." That describes my son. Life was good. He was happy. He enjoyed his job, and he was a very proud daddy to his two boys.
I used to take Diego and Valeria to when I played with my friends, when we played soccer at an age of 2-3 years old, and I would take them and they would be playing on the side, and they would be watching me, and you know, with all my friends and older guys, and they picked that up, right? And when he was 5 years old, that's when we kind of thought, okay, he needs more and more and more. And having the background, I started volunteering, and then including he was good enough to go into academies. So from the time he was 5-6 years old, I coached him until about the age of 13, at which point it was too much for me and for him too, and he chose a path of basketball, and he excelled in other sports. So it was a really special time of not only being his father, but being his coach as well, and watching him interact with teammates and situations, which there were quite a few situations where, you know, he would be a leader on the field.
She was actually home from for the summer from after her first freshman year of college in Boston at Berklee School of Music. So my sister the type of person that she was always looking to help people in any way she could. I remember when she was in high school, she would actually volunteer after school and drive all the way across town to other underprivileged schools to give free music lessons to children in the underprivileged schools that didn't have access to the same extracurricular activities that she had. She grew up playing multiple instruments, but ultimately the violin was her favorite instrument, and so that's what she would teach. Kids at other less privileged areas, and so that was her passion. She actually was also a member of the Youth Symphonic Orchestra in Miami, and she even had the opportunity to play first chair in Carnegie Hall during her senior year of high school.
My son Julio loved and lived life to the fullest. He always liked to help out people, so he decided he was going to become an EMT, a paramedic, a firefighter, and eventually an RN. He loved to travel the world and had traveled to different cities and different states and different countries, around 25 of them by the age of 30. He also loved music, so in his spare time when he wasn't working, he would go ahead and be a DJ with his little band called Until Dawn. He also had a 4-month-old daughter, and being a dad was one of the best things for him. We miss him terribly.
We all called him an old soul from very young because he did everything with such ease and everything was so fluid that we're like, oh, he for sure did this in a past life, he was this in a past life. But it's incredible because he passed away so young. Maybe his soul was so old, he was ready to go. But with the animals, when I received letters actually from the lung recipient, and I wrote him back and said, you have no idea, but my son could hold his breath for 3 minutes underwater because he would free dive all the time and come back with like dinner for everybody. But he was just incredible in everything he did, but he was just also such a beautiful human.
Joshua was a firefighter, a paramedic. He was an ocean rescue lifeguard in Pompano Beach. He loved helping people. And he would get a lot of satisfaction of telling me some of the things that happened when he was on shift. And over the period of 5 years that he worked for Lauderhill, he had some letters that were sent to the department complimenting Joshua for his personality and the way he treated a lot of the older people. He also wanted to go to nursing school, which was one of his plans, and that did not happen. But just his compassion that he had was part of him since he was a young kid. So I can just say that what he did, he was very good at, according to all the people that he worked with. And I was always very proud of him, and I'm still proud of him.
October the 14th, 2019 came, just 8 days before his 31st birthday, and it changed my world forever. Logan had gotten off work at 6 o'clock in the evening and was headed home. At 6:03, a gentleman failed to yield the right-of-way at a traffic light and hit Logan. It was determined that Logan was traveling about 50 miles an hour and the gentleman that hit him was going about 20. Because of the impact to Logan's car, it caused his car to hit the curbing and flip upside down. At that location, Logan breathed his last breath and he died at 6:34.
He passed away in a drowning accident where we spent he battled for about a week at a local hospital. At that point, it became we had to make the decision as to pass on his organs. And we ended up meeting, through the help of an organization, Legacy as well as Life Alliance, we ended up meeting a family, recipient family, that basically, although we were pretty much ready to do it, we really felt at ease, and we knew that we were making the right decision, extending life to someone else.
That she had been in an automobile accident. She was actually a passenger in a motorcycle, and a car cut them off. And when the accident occurred, she actually passed away immediately upon impact. And so again, it was a very unexpected, sudden tragedy.
I received a phone call from my daughter stating that my son Julio had been in an accident and he broke his neck in 3 places and was going to ICU. At that time, I was in Philadelphia working on a project, so I immediately got the first plane out and went to the hospital. At the hospital, the nurses told me that it was really bad and they were trying to save his brain. Unfortunately, they could not, so he was declared brain dead.
On Monday, September 3rd, 2012, Labor Day, it was an absolutely beautiful day out, and I received a knock at my door early afternoon from my daughter's friend's mom, telling me that my son had been in a horrible accident. My children were very close with each other. Joshua was 26, Dana was 24 at the time, and they went out to spend the day on a boat to celebrate Labor Day. Little did they know that, there would be a tragedy occurring on that day. My son obviously fell off of the boat. He hit his head and broke his neck. And we had to rush to the hospital, where our journey began of organ donation, loss of a child, and where I am today.
So at that moment, I was very much in shock, but I've always been a very faithful person, and I asked for a priest to please come to pray for my son immediately and to anoint him. And, I think my family members that were there, my husband and then my son's father, were just like, well, aren't they going to operate? What's going to happen? And I'm like, no, they're not operating. I mean, they were kind of clear. So they took me to another waiting room. And throughout this journey, I've met a lot of other donor families, and it's incredible how similar a lot of the stories are. But in my situation, first, somebody came to speak to me about signing a DNR. So at that moment, I signed a do not resuscitate for my son. And right after I signed it, I remembered that my son had called me 7 months before while renewing his license and asked me if he should check off the box of being a donor. And I said, absolutely, I've been a donor my entire life, and if I'm not going to use him, let somebody else use him. So he's like, yeah, that's exactly what I thought. And he checked it off. Such a casual conversation. I never thought I would ever, that would ever happen. I mean, I've been a donor my entire life.
One thing about me and my brother is my name's Robert and his name's Ricardo, but for short everybody called him Ricky. And so everybody, ever since I could remember, in the family, friends, they'd always just call us Ricky Bobby. What's up, Ricky Bobby? And it was kind of like we were inseparable. And it was really it was the toughest time of my life. It was insane, to say the least, but a piece of him is still here with us because of donation services, and Ricky Bobby will never die.
But through his eye and tissue donation, he has been able to help 228 people. And that number is mind-boggling to me.